Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Night Shift podcast. I'm Stinky Animan06, aka Isaac. I'm joined by my co-hosts.
This is Deadshot. That's what my Discord name is. It's Noah.
I am repairedpuma 994. My actual name is Darien.
As Midwayknight, my name Hunter.
So, our starting topics, with Cyberpunk being delayed again.
Stupid. Hey, Hunter, didn't you pre-order that game?
He sure did.
I pre-ordered it a month before it was originally supposed to be released.
And I do believe it's been, delayed 4 or 5 times now?
It's going on its
3 or 4.
Yeah, third delay.
It's 3 or 4.
I mean, it's just getting a little boring.
Well,
with how much hype was around the game, and now all of a sudden, you want to delay it.
Hype's still around it. It's just taking a little bit longer than expected.
Right, I mean, I feel like the longer that they hold off on it, they might be able to fix some of those minor issues.
The reason it got delayed in the first place is because it almost destroyed an Xbox and PlayStation.
Acceptable casualties, you mean?
I mean, would you call it an acceptable casualty if you invested $500 into a console, and then all of a sudden it breaks because of the game?
Which
smokes
is what's happening with the PlayStation 5s currently.
That is kind of funny.
After they, their initial launch day, which was today, correct?
Yep, with Xbox.
Today was the first initial release day, and like you were saying before we started the podcast, that they were overheating, they were having issues running it, which does not look good for PlayStation at all.
Oh yeah, Sunny 5 PlayStation is caught overheating in a retail store. Yep. If it runs too long, it has.
Stupid.
It has
that already.
They were not dealing with a manufacturer failure, but the fact that the console worked in unfavorable conditions is what they're blaming it on. But the only reason that gaming consoles overheat is either overexhausting or not cleaning, or there's several factors to that. So it might not be a PlayStation issue. But, since the fact that they want to record, their party chats, they also might be losing people there.
Well, given the issues that they had, I do believe the last console overheating issue they had back on, as far as I'm concerned with the PlayStation and Xbox situation, I do believe the Xbox 360, the PHAT system, used to overheat a lot because it just didn't have a lot of breathing room inside of it.
The Xbox 360 had an issue. I did, at least. Mm-hmm. Mine would only run for a certain long time.
The original, the white Xbox 360.
Yeah, the white one, yeah.
So much problem.
Yeah. I mean, the white Ring of Death was very, very susceptible.
Because I remember when I think it was probably 5-6 years ago. No, it had to have been longer than that. But I remember putting in certain games, and those 3 red circles would show up, like saying that there was something wrong with it.
Well, also, this is kind of not a not common thing with PlayStation. With the PlayStation 4 having a faulty hard drive, all of a sudden turning off your PlayStation. A lot of people complaining about that. I mean, PlayStation or Sony has just not been on a good streak so recently.
Not as of
first
now.
recording your party chats now your console is overheating.
And now, for you guys that aren't aware, this is the 11th on Tuesday. This will probably be up on Thursday. You'll be able to join us in our Discord chat as well as our Patreon. And we should also have our Instagram up by then, so you guys can come hang out with us some days. I think it'd be a good time. But
be sure to share this out with friends. We need an audience.
You guys want to come play Among with us?
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll get my grandma watching it.
Oh, did you touch up on our Discord? Because we have a Discord.
We do have a Discord. I will be putting that in the description in the down there if you guys are interested in joining that. But going back to the issue with like the the 360 and the PS5, having those same issues even now. I mean, thinking about how long they actually had to get this console out, I mean, I'm wondering who that's going to put in the position if Xbox this year is going to be able to reclaim the quote unquote title of winning that console war.
Which, they have Halo Infinite coming out on that brand new console.
And if that does good, it's just gonna sell.
It's gone. Yeah. PlayStation's already losing with. I mean, of course, the PlayStation 5 having issues. PlayStation wanted to record your stuff and give your stuff out. Game exclusives for the Sony have not been on to par. I mean, yeah, you got God of War, you got Spider-Man, but then you look at Xbox, you got Forza, you've got Halo. I mean, you've got multiple things with, and we can go back and forth about those things.
But we got to look at it from both sides of the tracks. So I mean, PlayStation, from as far as I remember, they actually do have a good lineup this year. Our lineup, we were supposed to have Halo coming out with our console, but Halo ended up getting pushed back, which would be the flagship to the Xbox console.
Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't do that, but they got to take their time on a masterpiece. It's the same thing with Cyberpunk. Like, you really have to take your time in this game, or it's not gonna, be good when it comes out.
Correct. I mean, I think it also comes down to the issue with just not having enough people, because I do believe Cyberpunk's lead had left midway through. I do believe that was raising some concern regarding the release date.
Yeah, and there's a lot, riding on 343 to get Halo Infinite, actually pumping because of, I would say Halo 5 was a failure. I mean, yeah, their multiplayer
Halo
was good,
5
but
was a flop.
I mean, seriously, campaign being that bad, feeling like a Michael Bay movie or a Call of Duty campaign. I mean, it's pretty bad.
And only having Master Chief for 3 missions out of the 15. Like, you fucking kidding me?
Halo 5 did fall pretty hard, but the issue is they're going to have to be able to catch a second wind here, or our ship, Halo's going to start drowning. I mean, it's been drowning since Halo 4, because at this point I feel like they're just making games to make games, because, they're milking that cow as much as they can.
And I mean, they did
good freaking... Infinite, it's gonna ruin it.
But that's no different than Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, or they continuously. I'm looking forward to something new, and I'm glad like with Cyberpunk coming out, I guarantee that'll be Game of the Year, and you can quote me on that. Like I will put money on that. I do believe that Cyberpunk, if it is what they say it's going to be, will be up there.
I think it will be a close contender. Yeah.
Take it.
If they can, I mean, and again, 343's been on that streak.
I just have to hope. I mean, what they're doing with the Chief Collection is it's now fixed. Like, it's playable now.
Ish, to a certain point. You still have the lag on servers and some issues with some games crashing.
It's not as bad as it was maybe last year. Last year was horrendous.
Well,
politely.
Another huge thing, though, I think that's putting us over the edge, just console-wise. I mean, consoles are finally getting SSD support, which is for those of you who aren't, that big into tech. SSDs, they help with load times. So now, like, Xbox is releasing the pick up where you left off, where loading screens like GTA 5 don't take nearly as long as what they used to, where you'd be sitting there for like 5 minutes waiting for it to load in.
Goodness, tell me about it. Them Battlefield loading screens, holy crap, you'd sit there for like half an hour before you got to a game. And I mean, they've carried that from 4 to 1 to 5, and they just won't drop it. By the way, I haven't heard anything news on a new Battlefield ever since Battlefield 5
Battlefield 5 is horrible.
Battlefield 5, I didn't mind the game. I thought the War Stories idea was a pretty cool idea.
Especially when Battlefield, I think the developers of Battlefield 5 called out the player base.
Yeah, they tend to be doing that a lot now. nowadays.
Here's my issue with, like Battlefield and all of that. I mean, you remember they said they were gonna expand upon the single player mode, and they never did. And a lot of people, including myself, really look forward to playing single player games because I enjoy being able to, I'll get off of work. For those of you who don't know, as the title of our channel suggests, we all work night shifts pretty much, or at least two of us do. One used to, and you're just kind of that stray dog that we let in through the door.
Yeah.
But when I come home at night, not everybody else is going to be on when I'm on. So coming home to play a single player game, not really wanting to talk to anybody, or if I have my girlfriend over, it's easier for us to just sit down and be able to play a game rather than being online, because not everybody wants to do that. And I don't like the fact that we're straying away from single-player games.
I do see a very massive decrease in the amount of single-player games coming out. Which
everyone wants to go on the Call of Duty route. It's got to be like Call of Duty so we can...
Well, when Warzone dropped is when really...
It's all got to have a battle royale. Just everything's got to have a battle royale.
Exactly. I mean...
VRs, are getting insanely out of control.
Like, when we look at Red Dead Redemption, that is solely, single-player game. They took the online route, but then they added a battle royale to it.
They added a battle royale to Red Dead Redemption?
I do believe so. When I was last down there, I think it was like a melee only something like that. I could be wrong, but I do remember there being a game mode where it's like fight till you're the last one alive.
That's
now,
fucking stupid.
I'll give it, like Fortnite, we got Apex, games like that. Those are, those were like kind of what really kicked that off. I mean,
I think, well, I don't know. I think PUBG was the first forerunner.
True. I mean, there were predecessors. I mean, if you take a look at like Minecraft, Hunger Games.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to go into them, yeah, you could.
The OG right there.
I mean,
OG right there.
With Hunger Games being the original, yes.
Minecraft Hunger Games. Is that what you guys are talking
Minecraft
about?
Hunger Games.
Bro, that would, dude. You know how? Oh my god.
Oh my god. I never played that.
Want me on Hunger Games, bro? I'll whoop you, bro. That was before Modern Warfare called it, chats. Oh, God. Speaking of, we can get on this topic of why are gaming communities so toxic right now?
Because everything has to be a competition.
With COD having the issue of not releasing a ranked mode ever since Black Ops 2, I think. Somebody could fact check me on that, but I do believe that they have not had a ranked mode since Black Ops 2.
And I'm just saying, if this next Call of Duty does not have a prestige system, I will not be getting it.
It has a prestige system.
It does have.
Yeah, but is it the stupid nonsense that they had in the previous Call of Duty, where it's just like, oh, you've reached this level, and
no, it's actually level 55.
It's like Black Ops prestige system,
or like every game now has to have. Can you guess what I'm about to say?
Loot boxes.
Loot boxes. Well, that's a big one. But we recently just had a decently big game come out, and I do believe there's still no loot boxes in it, which would be Star Wars Squadrons.
You've been playing that a lot. How's that?
I'm enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna enjoy it more when my Valve Index gets here, playing that and like actually feeling like you're in that, the cockpit of that ship, or whatever you're flying, a TIE fighter, a bomber. I think it's just gonna add to that immersion.
I want to get a VR headset, but I don't want to freaking blow half my goddamn check on it.
That is true. I mean, they're
end up getting a Vive or something.
Okay, so Treyarch is encouraging all players to prestige. One factor that stopped many players from doing so was losing their created class items. Now players can activate the prestige without any of the drawbacks. It's just only gaining. But it is prestige 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. There is now a prestige shop apparently, which you will need a prestige key to unlock. Which gets you... It's like the coins.
Oh, so it's behind a paywall now?
No.
Prestige coins. When you prestige,
prestige
you get a coin.
To permanently unlock something. or permanently get something.
Oh, okay. So you
Stuff
can
like
get
that.
things
That's
good.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So like we're
So that's how they're running it. So it's back to COD basics with the procedure. So thank God. I'm hoping that zombies is not ruined. Since they got rid of
The
my
OGs.
OG freaking crew last game. They killed them all off. That's how they ended it. A little sad.
I think that's also something we could remember is having those groups that you used to play with. And they kind of all go their separate ways, but I feel like it's just those games that bring certain people together, and when developers make those drastic changes, I mean, a lot of people lose interest and continue to playing those games.
And I really hope that Cold War has another developing story with zombies. That actually has people grasping on and wanting more Easter eggs, wanting to play more. That's always what grasped me. That's always what I bought COD all the way up from Black Ops 1 was for. Was for the storytelling. And then eventually, you hit Black Ops 3 and you hit Black Ops 4, and it kind of just seems like it's rinse and repeat, where they're losing ideas.
So, yeah,
Especially with Black Ops 3.
I'm
That
worried.
campaign is, holy crap, confusing.
I'm worried that like with this, the new Call of Duty, it's probably not even going to be that solely focused around the single player. Because you remember when Call of Duty's, like, that was the big hit thing.
They were
like
campaign heavy.
the campaigns were awesome, and you take a
Black
look
Ops
at
1 was what they took off in.
There's only there was still only like a small percentage of people playing those campaigns, so.
But for those people that did, they really enjoyed it. Now I understand from the money perspective why they're refraining to work on that, the single player side of things, because it takes a lot of time. And a lot of people are, that's where the money is, microtransactions and
Loot boxes. That's why you're seeing more loot boxes. Thank gosh, we haven't went from Advanced Warfare days where I don't know if you guys remember this, but you got OP weapons in loot boxes. You got different variants that were actually better than the original variants of the guns. Now they're just cosmetic, and I thank goodness that they're just cosmetic. Besides Star Wars, I think Star Wars had a little issue.
Star Wars had a massive issue.
Yeah, Battlefront 1 and 2, the new ones, both had massive loot box issues. I don't know about Squadrons. I think you said Squadrons doesn't have it.
Speaking of loot boxes, I'm not sure how much you guys have heard about it. FIFA, EA, and all of that, they're being sued for quote unquote predatory loot boxes, because it's essentially gambling for little kids. Because, well, you remember when you were little, you'd run out, you're like, oh, please, can I get this game? Like, I really want this. Well, now it's becoming, please, can I borrow your debit card to go buy skins? By the way, I definitely won't be buying 6 more behind your back. It's such an infectious thing, having the access to just gamble and hope you get what you want, and most of the time you're not even going to get what you want. Like, if you take, for instance, I mean, sometimes when I get bored, I play the game called Magic the Gathering Arena. Now, that's more of when I'm bored, nobody's on, but they do the same thing where, you get a card pack and you're hoping for this one specific card and you'll never get it, so no matter how much money you throw at it. Another thing, Overwatch loot boxes. I mean, I know Overwatch is kind of here and there at the moment.
Well, hold on.
We never talk about that, do we?
Alright.
I do believe China banned.
China banned it.
China banned Overwatch loot boxes because they actually said it was gambling.
But
because it is.
Another game that will be under fire for that is Rainbow Six Siege with their Alpha Pack system.
Speaking of Rainbow Six Siege, you guys heard anything about that Rainbow Six quarantine game?
I do believe that got delayed again. That's not coming out until 2021.
Yeah, that was their zombies mode, was it not?
Yeah.
I love that mode so much.
It was so fun. It actually had me pretty scared. Considering, Ubisoft's very broken game. I mean, that
they fixed it.
No, after Operation Health, it went down, and it went down, and it went down. Still, they're still having a lot of people play that game. Doesn't surprise me. It's been a popular game for several years, but are we waiting on something new?
I mean,
I am definitely looking forward to the idea of something more fresh coming to the table.
I mean, are we just gonna be like GTA now? And just keep
Ubi's
on
got a
putting out
new
DLC?
story game coming
Well,
out in February.
New story
But
game.
Yeah,
not
but,
Repo.
but they're Ghost
Far Cry.
Recons. They're good. Well,
That's
yeah,
right.
Far Cry. Far Cry 6.
right.
Let's hope it's better than 5, because 5 was
5 was not that bad.
I think
Mm,
Primal
mm.
was the worst out of the series.
Primal was
yes,
the worst out of
everyone said
everything.
Primal was the worst.
I'm a caveman. I can talk to bears.
Primal and then New Dawn.
Yeah.
I didn't like
Yeah.
New Dawn.
Anyway, the point of all of this is PC is better. You should probably switch to that instead.
No.
PC Master Race.
Join me and no on Xbox.
I mean, look, PC is better, but I will always go to my original, where I started gaming, my Atari.
Yeah, bust that shit out.
Where I started game was a PlayStation 2.
Actually, I started on a GameCube, and then I went to an Atari, and then I went to an Xbox.
I think I remember playing on the GameCube. Actually, I remember when I was little, my dad had a friend, we'll call him Tyler. So we used to go over to his house at night, and they would play PlayStation 2. They'd get drunk, whatever. But I remember this game called Sledstorm on PlayStation. And I remember just playing that all the time, and it brings you back good memories. I mean, hell, you guys remember when you wouldn't be able to turn off your console unless you wanted to lose all your save progress because they didn't
God.
have.
Yeah.
And now we
No.
take a look at having those save files now. Like kids that are growing up now don't even understand that pain of, oh, I better leave my console on. And you wake up in the morning and your mom or father has turned off your console, and now you have to start over, even though you were playing Sims Castaway and you were going to win.
Okay, Isaac, okay.
Got a
I
nerve.
mean, yeah. I hated that on the older. I think it was Game Boys. I think Game Boys. I had an issue with saving games, mainly because I don't think I had SSD.
It's just one of those good things we have about the modern.
Yeah, but do you think humanity is growing too fast?
No.
I
We need to
kind
go
of do.
I think
Japan literally has sex robots.
Thank you.
100.
I mean, that is true. I mean, I feel like in a way it is growing too fast for us, but I feel like in the end, I mean, it'll work itself out, because if we don't continue moving forward, then
We die.
eventually, yeah,
We're sharks.
something's gonna catch
die.
up to us. That's the harsh reality. Because make no mistake, like we don't move fast enough, you're gonna get consumed, and eventually we'll start drowning. Trying to
Gotta
find
stay
a way
at the
out
top
of
that food
issues.
chain.
And if we're being honest, the only reason we're at the top of the food chain is because of those innovations we made. I mean, you look back in history.
Yeah.
I mean, we made fire, and they're like, "Ooga booga, we win." And then it slowly progressed. People,
That's exact word for word right there.
and it progressed. Eventually we got to the better weaponry age, and we started getting single-fired weapons like muskets, and eventually that progressed to machine guns. Better weaponry. Well, I
And then all
mean,
of a
we
sudden it
missed
just
the
turns into
medieval age,
Tom.
but you get what I'm saying. Like now we
M4A1
have
Abrams.
we have
Medicinal.
airplanes that fly so high up in the atmosphere you don't even hear them coming. You got drones just holding a remote controller to take out your enemies. This way you're not
It's
facing
more likely a
casualties.
freaking
Imagine playing
Xbox
video
or
games for the army.
controller too,
Like, I mean, seriously.
because they use those.
It's crazy
It's
to
awful.
think that me sitting here and I'm doing shit on a battlefield all the way across, and I feel like that's a big thing on why technology is advancing so far, that eventually war's just gonna feel like we're gonna feel like we're playing Call of Duty because we're behind a screen. I mean, it's great for people like astronauts, stuff like that, who need that technology to help them, but why are we out there anyway?
Why are we out in space?
Because wars.
Well, who knows what's out there?
Aliens.
I mean, that was debunked this
I mean-
year. I don't have enough to talk about that specifically at the moment.
Yeah, I don't either.
That'll be a good topic for next week. Join us on Tuesdays. We will be recording this Thursday.
We also might
I
have
mean,
other
is
days,
probably
but
the upload.
Tuesdays is going to work for right now.
Tuesday is working for right now. I'm sure we'll have days where you can come join us. Either stream or YouTube. I'm gonna try to have stuff posted every week. We'll see how that works out though. But speaking, being on the technology and games, electronics being better and better. Let's talk about the exclusiveness of like certain consoles, like having the Game Pass and the PlayStation Plus. It's just, are you guys for the idea of that subscription base idea?
Definitely. It's not even that much money. I mean, if you think about it, but
I was going to say, $14 a month isn't bad.
I'm tired of paying for online services.
I was going to say, yeah, I think the main hitter for consoles these days is, well, I got to pay another $60 to get 12 months of subscription again. And and with Nintendo doing 60 months for $20, but Nintendo has no good games. I mean, shoot
Mario
me, but
Kart,
you got Mario Kart, you got
I-
Smash, you got Mario Party.
Super
Give me
Smash.
more than 5 games. I mean, give me more than 5 games on Nintendo that actually, hit top marks. And
Like
are
trying to
up
play
there
fucking
with some of
Overwatch on
Xbox.
that. Oh my god.
Did you guys say Animal Crossing?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Animal Crossing has been a big one.
Animal Crossing was up there. Was it there was another one, Legend of Zelda, right?
Zelda has always been a forerunner in Nintendo.
That
I
game
bought
seems
that when I was earlier.
And
I was
game
gonna
does
try
seem
that.
repeated.
Did you Game Pass linking with EA Access? I think it was. I think for the Ultimate plan. I mean, that's gonna rise up in subscription. Now I don't know if having those both combined means we'll be able to play all the EA games they have on their EA subscription, or if that's only gonna give us like certain titles. But I'm definitely interested to see how that plays out.
I know the Game Pass partnered with Disney for Disney Plus.
Also, the thing that shocked me this year, I don't know about you guys, is that Bethesda got bought out by Minecraft, or not Minecraft, freaking Microsoft.
Bethesda was bought by Minecraft.
Yo.
But no, like seriously, like how? I mean,
Doom and Minecraft, yeet.
Doom being one of the forerunners again, being one of those big games for Bethesda. Also, Fallout with Fallout 76. Oh my gosh!
I'm just glad that I do believe Microsoft went out and said that they weren't gonna make it like on only our console, because Microsoft, whether they call bullshit or not, they're just trying to make people happy. They said that they want everybody to be able to play the same games, and I think that was just a ploy to take shots at PlayStation. But that's just me.
It could be. Looking at it deeply, it could be.
Because we look at the controversy back on Fortnite, I think this was last year, maybe 2 years ago at this point, where they wanted Xbox, PC, and the Switch, and all of them to be able to play together under one big, the server everybody can play on. Well, PlayStation, when they refused to do that, yeah, it's hard to understand why you would want to do that. I do believe they said it was something to do with like they can't control their user base, they can't protect them, whatever. And that's bullshit. I truly do not believe that's the reason. I just feel like they want to keep running away from Xbox. Now, Xbox is the same way, because I mean, both sides of the tracks, there's always negatives and positives, no matter what you look at.
Yeah, there is. There's always two sides to the story. There's always gonna be those people that are always gonna support one side or the other, discarding pros and cons about either piece.
And that's it's just kind of like with today's world, like not really getting too into it on either side, whatever.
No,
But
we're
like,
not.
everything gets split, and I don't think things should be that way.
Yeah, let's split coronavirus. Let's defeat it half and half. We'll get it
Yeah,
done. We'll take
that's what
it
we're
down.
missing.
only for it to
That's
come.
what
It's more of making sure that you guys kind of made me lose my train of thought here, but I think
I'm
it's,
sorry. I'm just. Just thinking about somebody in this chat that's not speaking up about it.
It's all right.
What?
Not you.
But
Oh.
anyway, with that being said, I mean, a lot of people are having issues with that. A lot of family members, everybody hopefully does okay. But with, places like Melbourne, they finally reopened their doors to letting people out and about. I mean, up here in Western New York, I'm not going to give names because one of you guys will freaking dox me. But, so we have been out of lockdown for a while now. Everything's kind of coming back to normal, but we're finally rising again while other places are starting to, kind of come down. But, I mean, I know we were talking about earlier before the podcast started. By the way, if you go on our Patreon, you'll be able to see the, before we start up, really see what we talk about behind the
Let
screen.
me add, we don't need the Patreon at this moment. It is just for
To get us going.
concerns. Yes, for
To
better
get us
equipment.
going.
No, basically, Darien said he wanted a better PC, so he's going to exploit everybody for it. But,
Yeah, there it
movie
is.
theaters, you guys were telling me earlier, had kind of opened up
They
again.
have been slammed, but recently here, I do believe they're starting to open up again. But they have massive, restraints on who can come in. Of course, you're gonna have to wear a mask. I mean, that's required
the
everywhere.
only reason why they're opening them is because they're in stress financially.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
it's kind of like okay, you guys remember at the beginning of the pandemic, GameStop had refused to shut down. Now
Yes.
everybody is pissed off about that, but let's be honest with how crippled right now GameStop is with their, they have a lot of toxic issues going on in their workplace. Employees have come out and said it, but if they were to have stayed locked down for majority of quarantine, I do believe they did close for a minute, but they would have drowned.
Bankruptcy.
And
Yeah.
like them or not, their business marketing scheme, I mean, it works. I'm not saying it's good, but it's definitely, it keeps people in the loop. The idea of going into GameStop, here's a game I just got, like, well, here, I'll give you, well, let's say it's brand new, so we'll say $20, and they'll mark it up for even higher. They've just made a $40 profit off of you, and then they'll your store credit, would you like to buy another game? Like, it's so toxic, and that's the way GameStop has always stayed afloat, is with that, gross, toxic point of business. And I just...
Yeah. I mean,
In fact, GameStop's not going to survive too much longer.
I don't know. I don't know. They did just recently. Me and Hunter discovered this today.
Started using
They're opening.
selling PC stuff.
Yeah,
That might do a little bit.
yeah. They are starting to.
Well, the one in Shelby.
No. Bree.
What? We're allowed to say counties.
Yeah,
Well, can't say the state now.
we'll edit in post.
Okay, yeah, those are both.
It's
But,
just...
yeah.
Itchy.
Who
I need
in
more water.
freaking Devin Howard? I don't know.
Here's another issue though. When GameStop sinks to the
Uh-oh.
what's going on?
I just saw Jordan get on.
No, he's alright. He
What?
can't join.
It doesn't matter.
Jordan's another member of the podcast. He decided not to
He will
join
be joining
us
later.
tonight. But going back on topic here, being that GameStop is at that point, they're struggling to hold on now. They're trying to sell more stuff. It's the business scheme. Obviously, you need to keep moving forward. You gotta expand your business, but everything's online now. I mean, how often do you now go outside with your cash you get from work, your debit card, and go out to a GameStop, or in my town we used to have a place called GameZilla.
Considering I can't, none.
Right, and that's where the market's booming now. COVID has, risen. I mean, VR product, the VR industry skyrocketed. The amount of games being played on Xbox skyrocketed. And that goes for PlayStation 2 and PC. COVID has helped more of the online business industry than it has, walk-in
The
places.
physical. Yeah, the physical. And that's where you're gonna really have a big money issue is your physical product. Not getting rid of it.
And it's
Yeah, I mean, seriously, everything's moving online. I mean, I wish I could get my car fixed online, but I can't do that unless you look up YouTube.
give it a few more years. I mean, they'll have drones that'll come by and fix your stuff.
I
No,
mean,
a few more years, everything gonna be made by fucking Tesla.
Yeah, that is fair.
I don't know. Hey, well, here's my whole opinion on the everything goes to, or everything goes, electronic. Like, if you really dive deep into how much it actually takes to build a Tesla, and what actually materials it takes to build a battery for those cars, I mean, it's very, very resourceful. Big, heavy. I mean, I don't know how to put it.
Well,
especially the Priuses. The Priuses are worse about it.
but that all loops back to the conversation we had earlier about electronics. The industry of, what did you call the electronics? Yeah, we'll just say the electronics industry. I forgot what you used. The tech industry. I mean, it's still a march in the right direction. I mean, we're running low. I mean, I don't know. I gotta stop saying that word. That's gonna get annoying. But
What?
I mean,
No.
but having those move forward, food is becoming an issue. People are always popping out new kids. Regardless of the changes in the world, stuff's hard. But if we don't move now, like we said earlier, we will fall and won't be able to continue moving forward.
Yeah.
So that means fight for more oil. Let's go.
Yes.
I'm calling up my boys right now. Mr. President! No. I'd have to talk to Kamala Harris about that one. But,
Oh, hey, whoa.
Hey,
yeah, it's a character piece. I don't mean it.
What? But I mean, like, what?
And while we're
What
on,
gets me going these days is just nobody can get along anymore. We're fighting against each other.
This is kind of why I wanted to start up this whole thing to begin with, is to bring people, regardless where you're from, regardless of even color, you could be red, white, brown, green. I don't care. Like we need to be
green.
They make sure.
Make them green.
Those are orcs, bro. Those are orcs.
Orcs are people too. Orc lives matter. But
Xeno swine.
But looping back, I mean, now that we're talking, about the end of the world, that doom that's coming up, that people are worried about.
Not yet.
The Walking Dead season finale is finally coming after all these years.
About time that show died.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I think at the beginning of it, Walking Dead wasn't all that bad, but that came out when I was like,
good show.
I think I was like 14, 13 when the first episode aired, and that had to have,
good show.
that was what, 2014? We're talking 6 years ago now.
Yeah, they killed off most of the cast too.
Killed off also the cast. They probably got tired of paying them. Let's be honest.
It started in 2010, first aired.
Damn.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
it's been going for 10 years.
2010.
10 whole years.
I would have been, 9 years
10.
old.
9, yeah.
That's a long time. And I mean, I'm recently just getting into like older shows. Like I just started watching Game of Thrones a few months ago. By the way, if you guys haven't watched that, I would definitely give it some time to watch that.
I hadn't even thought about watching.
Spoilers for Gears of War 3. Dom fucking dies.
If we talking about like TV shows that are ending this year and we're on for a while, we got Supernatural that started in 2005.
I never really
Ending.
got into that.
know
I
what
mean,
I-
was that a pretty good show?
So
Yeah.
you know what I've been waiting for? That's I see a lot of news about it, but all of a sudden, it's just dropped off. All of a sudden, Stranger Things season 4.
Oh
you
yeah.
know, ever since the pandemic hit, I have not heard anything
Ow.
more about, and I thought it was an actual pretty good show idea. I mean, season
Everybody.
4 was announced in September of 2019, and then it just never it says late 2020 to mid 2021. But again, could that be pushed back just like Cyberpunk? Just like Halo Infinite, just like a bunch of other games, like a bunch of other shows. With recently Live PD getting canceled apparently. I don't know.
I think a lot of it's to do with, with
Stupid bullshit.
well, stuff spreading apart, and we'll edit that out. But with stuff,
Oh no, there has been something on Stranger Things.
What
The writers revealed the first episode title.
weird? About time, but I mean, I like that stuff. I didn't even know because I haven't seen any word, and I don't want that.
Chapter 1, The Hellfire Club.
Okay.
you see, that's a title right there enough to get me into watching that. Because I'm definitely going to need more stuff due to me working nights now.
Yeah, I suggest Supernatural and Stranger Things.
boys.
Well, there you go. Anybody that's listening,
Oh,
you got your
boys.
new TV shows of choice.
If
If
you
not,
have
definitely
Amazon
tell me
Prime.
about them.
The Boys.
The Boys. Have you started watching The Boys, Noah?
I have not. Hunter? No.
All right. Yeah, let's not spoil anything. We can't spoil anything too much because if by chance there are people out there listening,
Man,
We
Master
don't
Chief
wanna
freaking
be-
died in Halo 5. I can't believe it.
Oh my god. Spoilers!
To
So
people who
this-
play it, that's not a spoiler. That's false.
I mean,
Master Chief fucking dies.
that's the title. That's literally the title. It's laminated on the freaking game disc and the freaking case. So, I mean, everything has been slammed by this pandemic. I mean, I have been affected by it, bouncing jobs back and forth. Holy crap.
Well, that's right. You also were sent home at one point for it. I do believe.
I was,
correct?
yes, I was. There was a guy that actually had it at our work. Got 3 or 4 guys infected,
Guys,
and we were all on 2-week.
I don't want to be.
Wear your mask.
I don't want to be the mother here, but
But wear your mask.
yeah, wear your mask. I mean, we're all in this kind of
Tough,
together. I
tough,
don't care
tough,
which side of the
tough,
tracks you're on. The sooner we all
tough,
fucking get together
tough.
here and do
You
this,
need a lozenge?
things can go back to normal.
No, I don't need a lozenge. I'm just trying to.
And also,
at somebody that didn't listen.
if you or somebody that's been close to you has been sick, like maybe you shouldn't be going out. I know it sucks.
Maybe you
Nobody
shouldn't be going to
wants
work.
to
I
stay
mean,
at
like-
home.
Go get tested.
But at the end of the day, I mean, aren't you getting paid anyway? Like vacation time.
Here's the whole problem. I think America can't stop moving, and I think that's our issue. We train a lot of things to obey us, and to sit and stay. But when higher up people tell us to do it, listen.
Well, yeah,
Some
that's
weird-ass
another
reason.
thing. The American dream greatly influences the U.S. I mean, everybody knows that. Even people from like New Zealand, UK.
Heck yes, drink beer on Saturday, go to church on Sunday, rinse and repeat.
It's just it's built into us from when we're little. I mean, even school. I mean, I had the same idea. Wake up, you go to school for I think 8 hours a day, 6 hours. It's 6 hours, isn't it? It's something like
Somebody's wanting to expand it by an hour.
The fuck?
I won't give you any names, but I have seen that up in the news.
that. It's. I think it's a hard thing to do. Like, some schools aren't even open still. There's some colleges out there that still aren't open, which is, I understand why colleges wouldn't be open. But, like, in my town, regardless of our cases still going up, school is still in session. Shout out to anybody
It
that
has
I
to
know
happen,
that has gone to school with me or is still in school that knows me.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's a good idea that we continue that. I understand that life needs to keep moving forward, but there's a lot of concerns regardless of what you think.
And these big like gaming conventions all going online, I think that was a good step in the right direction. I think, moving like the CMA awards and stuff like that, like the major awards that everybody hears about, being thrown online and virtually, it is a little different. It is a little different. We have to adapt to it, but I think it's the right move. Instead of having everybody on top of each other.
But a lot of YouTubers though do make profit off of those things. I mean,
They do. I mean, look at KSI. I mean, he has boomed last couple of years with everything he's done.
Linus Tech Tips. He, I do believe his event is called the CES or something like that. But it's, a tech convention. Everybody comes, hangs out, and meets everybody. But they had to cancel it this year, which is, I'm sure the amount of money they had to have put into that. And, other gaming conventions as well. Putting all that money in for it to be canceled. I mean, it's a lot of money to lose.
It's really going to suck for these people.
Yeah. I was hoping to go to at least one of them this year, but then COVID hit, and then all plans changed.
I actually had a few concert dates I was supposed to go to this year.
Yeah,
you know how many concerts take me to I don't even care. It could be a high school music, play, whatever. I will start the mosh pit in there. I don't even care. You see Billy over there? He's joining. No, I'm just...
I mean, today's world is a lot different.
It is, and I
do believe this year has killed the handshake. I do not see after this year the handshake still being a viable greeting anymore, considering how fast this freaking virus has spread.
I mean, it can only go up from here, right? I mean, once you hit bottom, I mean, there's not much more else to go.
That's usually what I say when I take a Viagra, yeah. I mean,
it's definitely something to...
I mean, from when I was growing up, to now, if you really want to compare and you really want to look at those things, growing up, OG cartoons were on, of course, Lydia's a titty phantom. But, like, going outside, seeing family members having these big family gatherings for holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff, and now we're only being limited to, like, 10 to 15 people for those things. It really has changed.
Another big issue over the course of the pandemic, my family had lost their grandma, and due to stipulations that were going on, nobody could go in and see them. So I remember my family stood out the window saying their goodbyes like that, and it's such a hard idea to grasp that even regardless if there is a pandemic or not, I would want to see my family.
Yeah.
Like, family comes first, you guys. People listening, like, you gotta respect your family. And you might dislike them at times, but, I mean, they'll always have your back.
Yeah, you get laughed at, you get made fun of. But hey, it all works out in the end. It's just whatever. It's all good.
Always, never take a moment for granted. Always respect what you have.
Oh, I did. I was a little shithead in school.
I mean, me too. I mean, I was kicked out of school more times than I can count. I'm just glad I became a better person now.
Hunter, I came to school hungover. Don't you even start.
Oh, wait.
You came to school hungover. I went to school drunk, so...
I mean, we also had people getting drunk in high school. I mean,
stoned to the bone.
I think most of our bathrooms smelled like weed.
Yeah, I also see
Call
that as a
them
growing issue.
degenerates.
It's a big issue, though. I mean,
Also, I think using the school bathrooms is another big issue, but we'll go on.
I used to I used to remember coming to the school stone. It was so much fun. Now, guys, I'm not encouraging you in no way to be going out and doing these things. I mean, obviously, if you're not of age, don't be going out and doing drugs. But I'm not saying they are pretty fun. But I think it's
God.
you gotta understand.
God.
There's a time and place for things.
There's never a time to do drugs. Get out of here.
In school, you might hate it now, but when you get out of school, you're gonna need something. Otherwise, you're gonna end up behind a computer
Again,
talking on a podcast.
I've stated that there's nothing better than the smell of cocaine in the morning.
I don't like the smell of cocaine.
I heard it's a good sinus cleaner.
I'm sure. Shout out to my boy, Cocaine. Come on the show sometime. But
It's actually a person.
he's actually coming right now.
His name is Kokan.
Kokan. That's a cool pirate name right there.
I mean,
We better copyright that shit. Nobody's taking that from us.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I think.
Cocaine?
No. No, not that. Come on, guys. Let's act a little mature. Let's act like we actually are. What our age is. By the way, that's not getting leaked. I'm
Darian sick. It didn't go to. You didn't stay home. But
Sorry, gosh.
You're 14.
I have a really bad.
I think it's back to the subject we were originally on. People are now with things opening back up. I mean, it's nice to see people out and about again. It's honestly a great feeling.
I'm going to literally probably bet $10 that we're gonna have another rundown of shutdown with everything that's happened recently politically. No, I'm not going to state anything on that because that's not what this podcast is for. Whether I listen to that, go listen to the Camilla Harris podcast. I don't care.
Right.
But I mean, seriously, that is a thing to think about. This has been the highest turnout of voters, I do believe. Even though there's a lot of issues with this poll right now, I still think that our nation has been united with voting. But
you want to talk about a nation united? Let's go back. What was it? 20 years ago now, 19 years ago.
Yeah.
On September 11th was the day. I think it was the same day or the day after. That was the most the nation had ever been united under one.
The day of.
I mean,
it was probably a month.
Anybody that's listening, I mean, really ask your family where they were. I guarantee they will tell you exactly where they were, what they were doing, because that was devastating. I mean, when people say, "Where were you during COVID?" they'll be like, "I was on my couch."
My house. My house.
My house.
My boys.
When they talk about, 9/11,
Other things.
I remember I turned on the news. I was just so devastated with what was going on. I think it's all perspective based because now even with the election, all that stuff going on, that divided us a lot more. And regardless of what side you're on, I mean, it's a harsh reality knowing that at the end of this year you could lose family members, friends, just because of how you look at things. And I'm not saying there's a right way or a left way to be looking at things. It's just it's a weird way of to me it's pointless. Who cares? At the end of the day, it's all the same bird. We are all in this world together. And,
sadly,
fighting each other isn't gonna get us far. I mean, it's very hard to pick sides.
I don't know. There's a difference between actually changing and then just being, I think, what's the I don't know, being tough to realize the facts. Darien, you having this disbelief apparently of everything that's going on.
Let's not stray
considering-
too far off this one, you guys.
I don't know. I see what you get. I do see what you mean though.
Yeah, because a big thing about this podcast for you guys who are just joining us, obviously this would be you just joining us. This is our first episode. A big thing we are trying to refrain from, we want everybody to come here. We want everybody to have laughs. Maybe leave bad comments. Maybe leave good ones. I don't know. I don't give a fuck what you do. We just don't want to be. We want to be always centralized on things. We don't want to be leaning one way or the other because we want everybody to come in here with an open mind and then yell at us in the comments because we're wrong. But that's a big thing. I don't want. My idea is I want everybody in this channel, on my YouTube, all of our YouTubes eventually, to be, all united under this one group. Because, everybody's part of this. I mean, you join the Discord, blah, blah, blah. We can all hang out. We can all have a good time. Maybe I'll shout you out in a video. You can't quote me on that. You'll have to donate $100 to the Patreon. I'm kidding. But it's a big issue because the amount of division in this world. I just kind of want a place where everybody can hang out and it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you come from. I mean, when we're all on the internet together, nobody gives a fuck where you came from.
Besides them keyboard warriors,
the keyboard warriors. Or, sometimes when you see those people with the weird names in chat, and you're just like, I lost. And I won't say what I'm talking about, but I guarantee you know what I'm talking about. We've all been there.
Same thing about COD freaking game chats. Holy crap.
Shout out to the Nintendo chat room.
So it's always good when you're in a COD lobby and you can hear the keyboard to the mic.
I thought he was going to say something
gets
else.
called out for it. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not using it.
I ain't gonna drop that word, Noah.
Okay. I mean, even though you can, we're not going
Yeah.
to.
Another thing, you guys, there will be no, bad language. No racial, religious bigotry nonsense. Things that would purposely offend people. I mean, I'm sure we may have said one or two things that might have offended somebody. But, even...
Halo superior than God of War.
I mean, in PC is better than all other platforms. But that's beyond the point.
No, that's fact. That's not an opinion, too.
Dude, I would rather play on a GameCube than a PC. Get out of here.
You're on a PC right now. But yeah, I just want, this is going to be a place for everybody to come hang out. That's what I'm getting at.
Hey, I think that was, a target for, us creating this is because with everything being down, let's try and create some positivity.
That is a good statement. I definitely can't argue against that. It's a great feeling, even if this didn't blow up, let's just say we only got 10, 20 people. Well, I know at the end of the day, I have 10 to 20 people who can...
They're listening to us.
Yeah, they're listening. They can come join us. They can come play games with us. We're going to have big Among Us nights, obviously. It'll probably be on Tuesday. We'll do things like that after the podcast or before. Just remember, we're on nights. So a lot of the stuff there, it's going to be hard to during the day. But, my night ghouls out there, that's probably going to be a tier in here if you stick around.
Night else.
But, yeah.
Come on.
It's definitely a great idea. I like the idea of everybody being under, coming to hang out with us. It'll be a new way to meet new people.
It will.
Have a fun time. Maybe learn something new about different places.
Our first fan meetup is in Tennessee. No.
We're gonna rent out the entire expo center.
No, we're gonna rent out Tennessee.
Yes.
Now,
just Tennessee.
I don't know. Did you guys wanna keep going for a little bit? Or do you want me to wrap it up?
We can.
Which one?
I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow.
I took a sleeping pill.
Okay.
Which means Hunter's time is limited.
Okay, so we will. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, boys. But so every
I got
Tuesday.
a question for Noah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
How's that medicinal M1A1 going with your GoFundMe?
You know, it's getting there. You know, we did get a donator today. It was $1. It was for my grandma, but she didn't believe in the cause of an M1A1 for medicinal purposes.
Medicinally
I
owning a machine gun.
No, it's M1A1.
Oh, my bad. You said M1 Abrams. Okay.
Yes, and medicinal M1A1 Abrams. Come on now.
All right.
I mean, and then also my little, because you can create your own little militia. I won an F-22 Raptor donated from the U.S. No, I mean like, yeah, it's getting there, Hunter.
All right. So shout out to the U.S. military. You know, come on the show. You know, maybe give us some of that cool merch. No.
Shout out to those OnlyFans.
Or my freaking trophy.
Yeah, follow Noah on OnlyFans. No. Leave a comment. Should our channel get an OnlyFans?
Holy cheeks! I got you.
All right, guys. For us, it is about 1:40 in the morning, so I think we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. So once we get 10 members on the Discord here, I do plan on opening up a modded Minecraft server that will be hosted with the Apex servers. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they have a great server listing. Definitely go check that out. We are not sponsored by them, obviously. This is our first video. I just think they're great with their services.
Raid Shadow.
Yeah, so you got 10 members. Definitely leave a like, subscribe if you want. You know, come hang out with us sometimes. I'll have the Discord listed in the description of this video. We'll also have our links to our Instagram, also, as well as the Patreon. Now, guys, don't feel like you have to join the Patreon. It's just there if you guys want to come help support us and buy Noah his M1 Abrams. But yeah, that is our podcast for the night.
But it's okay. I mean,
It's been a fun time hanging out with everybody. Remember, for my night ghouls out there, daytime's coming soon. We'll be home soon.
Good luck and good night.
yes.
Bye, everybody.